Hey guys, imagine this. You're living in one of the most historic countries on earth, the birthplace of democracy, philosophy, stunning islands, and endless sunshine. Everything feels great. Then one day in 2009, your new prime minister goes on TV and drops a bomb. We've been lying about our money for years. The real debt isn't 100% of GDP. It's over 126%. And the deficit is 15.4%, 5 times worse than reported. Overnight, the world stops lending to Greece. Interest rates explode, banks teeter, and the entire Eurozone starts shaking. How did a proud nation get pushed to the brink of collapse? The answer is a toxic mix of overspending, political denial, and some seriously creative accounting that fooled everyone, including the EU itself. Stick around for the full 10-minute deep dive, because the Goldman Sachs secret deal alone will leave your jaw on the floor. Let's go. First, let's rewind to the good times. Greece joins the euro in 2001, and it's like getting the keys to a luxury car. Before the euro, Greece had to pay sky-high interest rates because of its history of inflation and devaluations. But now, borrowing at German-level rates, super cheap. Investors rush in thinking, it's backed by the euro, it's safe. Governments, both the socialists under PASAK and conservatives under New Democracy, go wild. They hire hundreds of thousands into cushy public sector jobs, offer pensions you could retire on at 55, even 54 some professions, early retirements, huge bonuses, bloated bureaucracy everywhere, and the cherry on top, the 2004 Athens Olympics supposed to cost 4.5 billion euros, ends up over 11 billion euros. Construction booms. GDP looks like it's growing 4 to 5% a year. Everyone's happy, tourism explodes, houses get built, Greeks feel richer than ever. But here's the dark truth. It was all built on sand. Greece never really met the Eurozone entry rules. The Maastricht Treaty demanded debt below 60% of GDP and deficits under 3%. Greece was already over 100% debt when they applied. So how did they get in? Creative accounting on steroids. Governments used every trick in the book. They created off-balance sheet companies to hide billions in spending. They booked future revenues like airport landing fees or lottery profits 10 to 20 years ahead, as money they had today. Hospital bills, parked in special entities so they didn't show up. Military spending, buried or delayed reporting. It was like maxing out credit cards in your cousin's name and telling the bank you read debt-free. But the most infamous trick came straight from Wall Street. Enter Goldman Sachs. In 2001, right before euro entry, Goldman crafted a secret currency swap deal worth billions. Greece had old debts in dollars and Japanese yen. Goldman helped convert them to euros using a fake historical exchange rate, one way more favorable than the real market rate. This magically shrank the reported debt by about 2.8 billion euros, roughly 2% of GDP, gone from the books. And because it was structured as a complex derivative, under the loose Eurostat rules back then, it didn't have to be counted as normal debt. Hidden in plain sight, Goldman earned hundreds of millions in fees. Greece got into the euro. Everyone celebrated. They didn't stop there. Over the years, more swaps, more hidden deals, some with other banks too. One bizarre example, the government sold future ferry ticket revenues to a bank, got cash up front, and didn't count it as borrowing. Genius on paper, catastrophic later. Fast forward to 2008, the global financial crisis hits. Markets crash, confidence evaporates. Investors start looking closer at everyone's books. In October 2009, a new socialist government wins election and opens the real ledger. The numbers are horrifying. Previous governments had been revising deficits upward every few months. But this time, it's a bombshell. 15.4% deficit. Debt heading to 126%. Ratings agencies downgrade Greek bonds to junk status almost instantly. Borrowing costs skyrocket. Yields on 10-year bonds jump from 5% to 20%, then 30%. Greece can't roll over its debt anymore. It's locked out of markets. Panic spreads across Europe. If Greece defaults, French and German banks holding billions in Greek bonds could collapse. The whole euro could fracture. Spring 2010. Greece begs for help. The EU, ECB, and IMF, the infamous Troika, announced the first bailout, 110 billion euros, biggest rescue package ever. But here's where it gets brutal for ordinary Greeks. Most of that money doesn't stay in Greece, it goes straight to paying back those foreign banks. In return, Greece has to swallow savage austerity. Pensions cut up to 40%. Public wages slashed 20 to 30%. VAT hiked to 23%. Thousands of public jobs axed, privatizations forced at fire sale prices. The Troika demands primary surpluses, running a budget surplus before interest payments. The result? The economy implodes. GDP shrinks 26% from 2008 to 2013, worse than America's Great Depression. Unemployment hits 28%, youth unemployment over 60%. Hospitals run out of basic medicine. Schools lose teachers. Suicide rates jump 35%. Families skip meals. Kids faint at school from hunger. Emigration explodes. Over 500,000 young, educated Greeks leave. A massive brain drain. Riots fill Syntagma. Square tear gas. Molotov cocktails. Burning buildings. People chant thieves. At politicians, it doesn't end with one bailout. 2012. Second package. 130 billion euros, plus the largest debt restructuring ever. Private creditors take a 53% haircut, wiping 107 billion euros. Debt to GDP still peaks at 180%. More austerity, more pain. 2015. Syriza, a radical left party, wins, promising to end austerity. Drama peaks. Capital controls. Banks close for 3 weeks. ATMs limited to 60 euros a day. Greece almost crashes out of the euro. Brexit scares markets worldwide. Third bailout. 86 billion euros, with even tougher conditions. Prime Minister Tsipras calls a referendum. 61% vote no. To more austerity, then ignores it and signs anyway. Heartbreak for many. Who's to blame? Everyone points fingers. Greek politicians for decades of populism and lies. EU leaders for letting Greece in too early for political optics to make the euro look unbreakable. Banks like Goldman for designing the tricks. Regulators for weak oversight. Germans for insisting on punishing austerity instead of debt relief up front. The IMF later admitted they screwed up growth forecasts, way too optimistic. Fast forward to today, December 2025. Greece has changed dramatically. They exited the bailout programs in 2018. Debt to GDP is down to around 151%, still high, but falling. Growth is back, outpacing the EU average for years. Unemployment below 10%, lowest since 2009. Tourism smashing records. Investments returning. Bonds regained investment grade. They paid off the IMF early, saving billions in interest. Tax collection improved massively, with digital systems cutting evasion. Primary surpluses held strong, but the scars are deep. A lost generation, many who left never returned. Inequality rose. Poverty lingered longer than it should. Trust in politics shattered, and the debt burden still over 400 billion euros vulnerable if rates rise. The biggest lessons. Transparency matters. Hiding problems only makes them explode later. Easy money without discipline is poison. Austerity in a deep depression can backfire hard. Monetary union needs better rules, and fiscal tools are up. Built banking union and recovery funds, partly because of Greece. Resilience wins. Greece reformed and recovered, proving it's possible. So, what shocked you the most? The Goldman secret swap, the human suffering, or how Greece is actually bouncing back in 2025? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. If this story blew your mind, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for more wild financial disasters and comebacks. See you in the next ones. Stay smart with your money.